Gospel according to Luke, the 6th chapter.
Glory to the Lord.
This is following on last week's sermon, or not sermon, Jesus' sermon. He had been up on the mountain, had chosen his 12 followers, had come down from the mountain and stood on a level place. There were a great crowd of his disciples, his followers, his believers, and then they said a great multitude of people from Judea and Jerusalem and the coasts of Tyre and Sidon. So there were a lot of people there. And last week we heard him give them what we know of as the Beatitudes. And this follows right along in the same sermon in Matthew's Gospel. It's called the Sermon on the Mount. Here it's called the Sermon on the Plain. There are significant differences, but here in Luke it continues. Jesus says, "But I say to you that listen, love your enemies, do good to those who hate you, bless those who curse you, pray for those who abuse you. If anyone strikes you on the cheek, offer the other also. And from anyone who takes away your coat, do not withhold even your shirt. Give to everyone who begs from you. And if anyone takes away your goods, do not ask for them again. Do to others as you would have them do to you. If you love those who love you, what credit is that to you? Even sinners love those who love them. And if you do good to those who do good to you, what credit is that to you? Even sinners do the same. And if you lend only to those from whom you expect to receive, what credit is that to you? Even sinners lend to sinners to receive as much again. Love your enemies. Do good. And lend, expecting nothing in return. Your reward will be great. You will be children of the Most High. We will be children of the Most High. For He is kind to the ungrateful and the wicked. Be merciful, as your Father is merciful. Do not judge, and you will not be judged. Do not condemn, and you will not be condemned. Forgive, and you will be forgiven. Give, and it will be given to you. A full measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over, will be put in your lap. For the measure that you give is the measure that you will get back. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
That should be seen. Well, if the Bible is a self-help book, an owner's manual for how to live life on earth with other people, then we've hit the jackpot today. We've hit the chapter that summarizes everything that we ought to be doing good. So if it's a self-help book, if it's giving the 5 P's to living a full life, whatever, these self-help people come up with for their books and their speeches and all of that, then we've got the right chapter. We've got the right list of things that we can do. Look at the great things that we can do. Let's look through them again. We can love our enemies. Do good to those who hate you. Bless those who curse you. Pray for those who abuse you. Sounds like good stuff to do. If anyone strikes you on the cheek, offer the other also. And if anybody takes your stuff, don't ask for it back. Again, good stuff to do. Give to everyone who begs from you. Good stuff. But what if this is simply an impossible set of demands? What if this is not easy stuff to do? What if this is not stuff that we do on a daily basis? What if these things are things that we find difficult to do? What if these sets of commandments are meant to drive us to Christ, are meant to drive us to live in God's grace, knowing that we can't live up to God's expectations, and yet knowing that God knows that. Knowing that God made us to be human beings, and knowing that we can't possibly do all that we're commanded to do. That we are broken people. That we do things that break God's heart. That we do things that break our neighbors and our spouses and our families' hearts. And these are meant to drive us, as I said, to God's grace. What if these are not self-help things, but the ramblings of a naive dreamer who has no clue about real life? What does Jesus know anyway? What if we look and say, you know what? I'm doing pretty good with these things. What if Jesus really means for us to do these things? When you look at these list of things, love your enemies, do good to those who hate you, bless those that curse you, pray for those that abuse you, turn the other cheek, don't ask for your goods back if somebody steals them, and then he sneaks in the golden rule that are just in the middle of the whole thing, sneaks that great golden rule in there. We look at these and say, I'm not doing so bad, or I'm in deep. How do we look at it? What if we look at these not as commandments, but as promises from Jesus? What if Jesus does mean for us to do these things, but not in the way that we initially read them? What if Jesus does mean for us to do these not to get check marks on our scoreboard, not to climb another couple of rungs on the ladder to heaven, but what about if these are God's promises to us as we live our Christian life in response to God's love? What if these are promises of the way that life can be? What if these are promises of how, when we are at our best, we can live life? I think Jesus does mean for us to do these things. To do them as a part of our work in making the kingdom of God a reality here and now. what God calls on us to do in response to God's love. But these promises, they don't come without a price. These promises are not easy to fulfill. It's not easy for Jesus to get us to love our enemy, to pray for those who abuse us, to do good to those who hate us. Who in the world, I think when we go through life, and we're here in Lancaster, California in the 21st century, I think as I read this, I don't have anybody that I consider an enemy, other than maybe some Al-Qaeda, ISIS fighter in Afghanistan. But I can't look around in my daily life and say, well, that's somebody that's my enemy. I can't look around in my daily life and say, well, that's somebody that hates me. I'm very fortunate that I can't look around in my daily life and say, that's somebody that abused me. That's one that I think a lot of people still live with. But I'm fortunate. But these promises of God, that we can do these things because we can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. When we read that verse, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, it's not I can lift this rocking thing by myself because God makes me strong physically, but God makes me strong emotionally and spiritually when I am at my best. And God gives me the ability to do these things when I am at my best, and the same with you. So God in this list of things to do, love your enemies, do good to those who hate you, those kind of things, do to others as you would have them do to you. Be merciful as your Father is merciful. How about these last ones? We haven't talked about them yet. Do not judge. I've got a feeling most of us fall into that trap. Do not judge, and you will not be judged. Do not condemn, and you will not be condemned. Forgive. Forgive, and you will be forgiven. Give, and you will receive. More promises that we hear in this gospel. Yet ones that pay a price or take a price. What is it that we are called to do and be? We are called to do and be those kind of people that live these promises of Christ. So may we be people who do the impossible. May we be people who love our enemies, who bless those that curse us, do good to those who hate us, pray for those that abuse us. Can we be people that do the impossible, not judge people, not condemn people, but forgive and give? May we be people who turn the other cheek. And may we be people that do to others as we would have them do to us. In Jesus' name, amen. Let's stand in our